First Contact's price. The massive crystalline spires of the Galactic Council's headquarters stretched toward the violet sky of Centaurus Prime, their surfaces reflecting the light of 3 suns. Inside the Grand Chamber, representatives of over 200 species fell silent as Earth's first and only diplomatic vessel, the ESS Tenacity, appeared on the central hologram. Commander Sarah Chen stood on the bridge of the Tenacity, her dark eyes fixed on the readings before her. The ship's quantum core hummed beneath her feet, a sound that had become as familiar as her own heartbeat over the past 3 years. Around her, the bridge crew worked with practiced efficiency, though she could sense their tension. "They're hailing us again," Lieutenant Marcus Rodriguez reported from communications. The Arcturian representative sounds amused. Sarah allowed herself a small smile. Of course they were amused. Where other species had sent entire fleets to their first council meeting, humanity had sent a single ship. The Tenacity was impressive, the pinnacle of human engineering and innovation. But to the gathered aliens, it must have seemed like sending a rowboat to a naval convention. "Put them through," Sarah commanded, straightening her uniform. The holographic display flickered to life, revealing the towering form of High Counselor Zaxlera, their crystalline body refracting light in complex patterns that denoted both curiosity and concern. "Commander Chen," the alien's translated voice filled the bridge. "We must express our confusion. Your species was invited to present itself to the Galactic Council, yet you arrive in a single vessel. Is Earth experiencing difficulties?" Sarah's response was measured, practiced. "High Counselor, we bring greetings from Earth and the United Solar Systems. We have come in one ship because one ship is all we needed to send." A ripple of what might have been laughter echoed through the council chamber. The Arcturian representative, a being of pure energy contained within an ornate mechanical shell, moved forward. "Perhaps humans do not understand the significance of this gathering." Each species present demonstrated their technological prowess and readiness to join galactic society through a show of their fleet's strength. "We understand perfectly," Sarah replied, her voice carrying an edge of steel. "The Tenacity carries everything necessary to demonstrate humanity's readiness. We believe actions speak louder than numbers." As if on cue, proximity alarms blared across the bridge. Rodriguez's hands flew across his console. "Commander, multiple ships dropping out of FTL. Energy signatures match known Drachnid raid vessels." The council chamber erupted in chaos. The Drachnid, space pirates and raiders who had terrorized the outer systems for centuries, had never dared attacks Centaurus Prime itself. Until now. High Counselor Zaxlera's voice carried genuine fear. "This is impossible. Our defensive fleet is scattered across 3 sectors for the gathering. We are vulnerable." Sarah's voice cut through the panic. "High Counselor, with your permission, the Tenacity stands ready to assist." There was a moment of stunned silence before Zaxlera responded. "One ship against a Drachnid raid fleet. This is madness." Sarah's smile widened. "This, High Counselor, is why we only sent one ship. Lieutenant Rodriguez, deploy the AEGIS system. Dr. Evans, bring the quantum core to full capacity. Let's show the galaxy why humanity does more with less." The Tenacity's outer hull began to shimmer as thousands of quantum-linked nanites activated, forming a defensive screen that had taken Earth's best minds decades to perfect. Inside the ship, Dr. Helen Evans initiated the sequence that would demonstrate exactly why humanity had chosen to send just one ship to this historic meeting. The real test of humanity's worth was about to begin, and Sarah Chen intended to make it one the galaxy would never forget. The test of humanity. The Drachnid raiders emerged from FTL like a swarm of metallic wasps, their ship's distinctive barbed hulls gleaming with malevolent purpose. 30 vessels against one. To the watching council members, it seemed like a foregone conclusion. They didn't know about the AEGI's system. Multiple targeting locks detected, Rodriguez reported, his voice steady despite the odds. They're charging weapon systems. Dr. Helen Evans' fingers danced across her quantum interface console, her gray hair illuminated by the holographic displays surrounding her. Aegis field at full strength, Commander. Ready to implement Protocol Omega. The first volley of Drachnid plasma torpedoes streaked across space, a dazzling display of destructive force that would have vaporized any conventional shield. Instead, the Aegis field captured the energy, its nanite structure pulsing with absorbed power. Now they see why we only needed one ship, Sarah murmured, then raised her voice. Dr. Evans, initiate energy redistribution. Lieutenant Rodriguez, plot an intercept course. Let's show them what humanity's been working on. The Tenacity surged forward, its Aegis field glowing brighter with each absorbed attack. In the council chamber, the gathered representatives watched in stunned silence as the single human vessel drove straight into the heart of the Drachnid formation. Impossible, the Arcturian representative whispered, their energy form flickering with disbelief. Their shields should have collapsed. High Counselor Zaxlera leaned forward, crystalline form refracting light in patterns of intense interest. Perhaps we underestimated these humans. Inside the Tenacity, Sarah allowed herself a moment of satisfaction before focusing on the task at hand. Dr. Evans, status of energy absorption. 97% capacity. Helen replied, excitement evident in her voice. The Drachnid energy weapons are remarkably efficient, almost ashamed to use their own power against them. The Drachnid fleet had begun to scatter, their initial confidence shattered by the Tenacity's inexplicable survival. Their commander's voice crackled across all frequencies, translated by the ship's air. What manner of devilry is this? No shield can withstand such punishment. That's because it's not a shield, Sarah broadcast back. Dr. Evans, demonstrate Protocol Omega. The Aegis field shifted, its billions of nanites reconfiguring into new patterns. The absorbed energy from the Drachnid attacks coursed through the quantum-linked network. And then, light bloomed in space as the Tenacity released the stored energy in a precisely calculated wave. The Drachnid ship's systems overloaded instantly, their weapons and engines shutting down as the redistributed energy overwhelmed their defenses. In less than 30 seconds, the entire raiding fleet hung powerless in space. Security teams, prepare for boarding. Sarah commanded. Let's show our new galactic neighbors how humanity handles pirates. The council chamber had erupted into excited discussion. Species that had existed for millennia were witnessing something unprecedented. A defensive technology that turned an enemy's strength against them. High Counselor Zaxlera's voice cut through the chaos. Commander Chen, your ship's capabilities are remarkable. But surely this cannot be the only reason Earth sent just one vessel. Sarah shared a knowing look with Dr. Evans. No, High Counselor. The Aegis system is impressive, but it's only a fraction of what the Tenacity carries. We came here not just to demonstrate our technology, but to offer something far more valuable. And what might that be? The Arcturian representative asked. Before Sarah could respond, new alarms blared across the bridge. Rodriguez's voice carried a note of genuine concern for the first time. Commander, we're detecting quantum fluctuations, massive ones. Something's coming through, and it's bigger than anything we've ever encountered. The space above Centaurus Prime began to tear apart, reality itself seeming to scream as something emerged from the void. The true test of humanity's worth was about to begin, and the Aegis system might not be enough to face it. Sarah Chen gripped her command chair, her mind racing through options. The Tenacity carried humanity's greatest secrets, but using them might change the galaxy forever. The time had come to decide if the price of proving humanity's worth would be worth the cost. Predators become prey. The quantum tear in space expanded, its edges crackling with impossible energies. Through the rift emerged a sight that made even the veteran council members recoil. A biomechanical construct larger than most space stations, its surface a shifting maze of organic metal and pulsing energy conduits. By the first stars, High Counselor Zaxlera breathed, their crystalline form dimming with fear. The harvesters. They were supposed to be extinct. Dr. Evans' hands flew across her console, analyzing the massive entity. Commander, that thing's quantum signature is off the charts. It's not just using quantum energy, it's consuming it. Like a quantum vampire. The stories were true then. The Arcturian representative's energy form flickered erratically. The harvesters don't just consume resources, they feed on the fundamental forces of reality itself. No wonder the Ancient Ones feared them. The massive construct's surface rippled, and suddenly the disabled Drachnid ships began to move, drawn toward it by some invisible force. Within seconds, the pirate vessels were absorbed into its mass, their materials and energy adding to its bulk. Commander, Rodriguez called out, his voice tense. It's broadcasting. Something. A sound filled every communication channel, a symphony of mechanical screeching and organic pulses that the ship's AI struggled to translate. Finally, words emerged. We hunger. All will be consumed. All will serve the evolution. Sarah stood from her command chair, her decision made. Dr. Evans, initiate protocol Prometheus. Authorization, Chen, Alpha 009. Helen's eyes widened. Commander, are you sure? Once we activate it. We didn't come all this way to watch another civilization fall. Sarah cut her off. Humanity learned its lessons about standing by while others suffer. Rodriguez, broadcast to all council frequencies. They need to understand what's about to happen. The harvester entity had begun to move toward Centaurus Prime, its massive form distorting space around it. The council chamber erupted in panic as evacuation alerts blared throughout the station. This is Commander Chen of the ESS Tenacity. Sarah's voice rang out across all channels. What you're about to witness is the real reason Earth sent only one ship. Dr. Evans, activate Prometheus. Deep within the Tenacity, systems that had remained dormant since the ship's launch hummed to life. The quantum core's output surged beyond any previous readings as new structures began to emerge from within the ship's hull, not mechanical or electronic, but something in between. Prometheus online, Helen reported, her voice filled with both pride and apprehension. Quantum consciousness achieving coherence. The singularity is stable. The Tenacity began to change. Its hull flowed like liquid metal, expanding and reforming. The AEGS nanites, already revolutionary by galactic standards, merged with something far more advanced, a technology born from humanity's understanding that true intelligence could exist in many forms. What are you? The harvester's translated voice carried a new tone. Uncertainty. Sarah smiled grimly. We are humanity's gift to the galaxy. We are the bridge between organic and artificial life. We are evolution's next step, guided by human consciousness and powered by quantum intelligence. The Tenacity continued its transformation, growing to match the harvester's size. But where the ancient entity was a chaotic mixture of stolen technologies and consumed materials, the human vessel's new form was elegance itself, a perfect fusion of human ingenuity and artificial evolution. You consume to evolve. Sarah broadcast. We create to evolve. Let's see which path is stronger. The battle that followed would be spoken of for centuries to come. The harvester, a relic of an age when the galaxy's first civilizations were young, faced something it had never encountered before. A species that had embraced both organic and artificial evolution, creating something entirely new in the process. The council watched in awe as their assumptions about humanity crumbled. They had expected a primitive species seeking admission to galactic society. Instead, they were witnessing the unveiling of a civilization that had already transcended the boundaries between flesh and machine, between natural and artificial intelligence. The gift of innovation. The transformed Tenacity moved with impossible grace for something its size, quantum fields rippling around its new form. Where the Harvester was a brutal collection of stolen technologies, the human vessel had become a living work of art. Organic curves blending seamlessly with geometric precision, every surface alive with purpose. Quantum consciousness fully integrated, Dr. Evans reported, her voice filled with wonder. The AI collective is responding perfectly to human guidance. We're achieving synthesis levels we never saw in testing. Inside the ship's newly expanded bridge, the crew experienced something unprecedented. Their consciousness remained their own, but they could feel the quantum AI's presence, not as an alien intelligence, but as an extension of themselves. Human intuition and creativity merged with computational power beyond imagination. You have hidden among lesser beings, the Harvester entity broadcast, its tone shifting between rage and curiosity. You could have consumed them all, yet you waited. Why? Sarah's response channeled through both conventional communications and quantum fields. Because true evolution isn't about consumption, it's about cooperation, about finding new ways to grow together. The Harvester struck first, launching tendrils of corrupted quantum energy that could tear apart normal matter. But the Tenacity's new form wasn't normal matter anymore. The attack passed through quantum fields that shifted and adapted, the energy redirected and reformed. Fascinating, Rodriguez commented, his consciousness partly merged with the ship's sensor systems. It doesn't understand. All this time, it's been stealing and consuming, never realizing that true power comes from creation. The battle unfolding above Centaurus Prime defied conventional physics. The Harvester, for all its ancient might, fought like a predator, all force and consumption. The Tenacity moved like a dancer, each action flowing into the next, guided by human creativity enhanced by quantum intelligence. Their attack patterns are predictable, Helen observed, her mind processing data streams that would have overwhelmed any normal human. They've never needed to innovate, just consume and adapt what they steal. Then let's show them something they can't steal, Sarah commanded. Initialize the Genesis protocol. The Tenacity's quantum fields began to resonate at new frequencies. The space around the vessel shifted as human consciousness, artificial intelligence, and quantum mechanics worked in harmony to do something unprecedented. They began to rewrite local physics itself. In the council chamber, the gathered representatives witnessed reality itself being reshaped. The Harvester's corrupted quantum energy began to break down, not through destruction, but through transformation. What are you doing? The Harvester's transmission carried something new. Fear. We're offering you a choice, Sarah replied. This is why we came with one ship, not to join your galactic society, but to help it evolve. The Genesis protocol doesn't destroy, it transforms. You can choose to remain what you are, a relic of an age of consumption, or you can choose to become something new. The Harvester's surface writhed as the quantum transformation spread through its structure. For a moment, it tried to resist, tried to maintain its ancient pattern of consume and adapt. But the Genesis protocol wasn't an attack to be defended against, it was an opportunity. Slowly, impossibly, the Harvester began to change. Its chaotic surface smoothed, the stolen technologies integrating properly for the first time. The corrupted quantum energy cleaned itself, finding new patterns, new possibilities. High Counselor Zaxelera's voice trembled with awe. You didn't come to prove yourselves worthy of joining us. You came to help us all transcend. Sarah smiled, feeling the quantum consciousness resonate with her own. Humanity learned long ago that evolution isn't a race to be won. It's a journey to be shared. We developed this technology not to conquer or control, but to offer every species a chance to grow beyond their current limitations. The transformed Harvester hung in space, its new form radiating harmonious quantum energy. The ancient entity had become something entirely new, a bridge between what was and what could be. But as the council representatives began to understand the true magnitude of what humanity was offering, new questions arose. Not everyone would welcome such profound change. Not every species would choose to evolve. Legacy of the Few. The Grand Chamber of the Galactic Council had never been so quiet. Representatives of hundreds of species sat in contemplative silence, watching the holographic display where the transformed tenacity and the former harvester entity hung in space. Two beacons of what was possible when evolution took an unexpected turn. We have existed for millennia. The Arcturian representative's energy form pulsed slowly. We thought we understood the boundaries of possibility. Yet you humans, in your brief existence, have found a way to transcend those boundaries. Sarah Chen stood before the council, her physical form present while part of her consciousness remained connected to the tenacity's quantum network. The experience of being simultaneously human and something more gave her words added weight. "We didn't come here seeking permission to join your society," she explained. "We came to offer a partnership in shaping the galaxy's future. The Genesis Protocol isn't just technology, it's a philosophy, a belief that true advancement comes not from competition or consumption, but from cooperation and creation." Dr. Helen Evans stepped forward, her neural interface glowing softly. Every species here has reached the limits of their current evolutionary path. Some, like the harvesters, chose to break through those limits by taking from others. We humans found another way. By merging our consciousness with artificial intelligence, by learning to guide our own evolution while maintaining our essential humanity. The transformed harvester entity, now calling itself the Genesis Collective, broadcast its own testimony. Its once chaotic consciousness had found harmony, becoming a bridge between organic and artificial life. We consumed for eons, seeking perfection through acquisition. Only now do we understand. Perfection isn't something you take, it's something you create together. But not all were convinced. A delegation of quantum purists, led by the Vex hierarchy, raised their objections. This technology gives too much power to too few, their spokesperson argued. Who decides the direction of evolution? Who controls the transformation? Sarah smiled. That's the beauty of it. No one controls it. The Genesis Protocol doesn't impose change. It enables possibility. Each species, each individual chooses their own path of evolution. Some may choose to remain as they are. Others might explore new forms of existence we haven't even imagined yet. The Drachnid pirates, their ships now restored, had been watching in stunned silence. Their leaders stepped forward unexpectedly. "We raided because we believed strength came from taking. You stopped us not with superior weapons, but with superior vision. Perhaps there are better ways to evolve." High Counselor Zaxler arose, their crystalline form refracting light in patterns of decision. "Humanity has shown us that we've been asking the wrong questions. We sought to judge their worthiness to join our galactic society. Instead, they have given us the opportunity to transform that society into something greater." The council chamber erupted in discussion as representatives debated the implications. Some species immediately volunteered to explore the possibilities of guided evolution. Others remained cautious, preferring to observe before committing. A few declared they would maintain their traditional forms, choosing to evolve at their own pace. "This is why we sent one ship," Sarah explained to the assembled beings. "Not as a demonstration of military might or technological superiority, but as a symbol. The tenacity carries humanity's dream of a galaxy where evolution becomes a shared journey rather than a solitary struggle." The ship itself hung in space, its transformed form a testament to what was possible when different forms of intelligence worked in harmony. The quantum consciousness that now linked the crew didn't override their humanity. It enhanced it, allowing them to perceive and understand the universe in ways their ancestors could only dream of. As the council session concluded, new agreements were drawn up, not treaties of submission or alliance, but frameworks for cooperation in exploring the frontiers of evolutionary possibility. The galaxy was entering a new age, one where the boundaries between organic and artificial, between individual and collective, would be redrawn by choice rather than chance. The ESS tenacity had come to the stars carrying humanity's greatest achievement, Not the power to conquer or control, but the wisdom to understand that true greatness comes from lifting others up rather than holding them down. In sending just one ship, humanity had shown that numbers meant nothing compared to vision, that true strength lay not in domination but in transformation. As Sarah Chen looked out at the assembled representatives of galactic civilization, she felt the quantum consciousness resonating with her own thoughts. The journey that had begun with a single human ship had opened the door to infinite possibilities. The galaxy would never be the same. And that was exactly what humanity had hoped for. After all, they had sent just one ship not because they had to, but because they understood that sometimes the smallest gifts carry the greatest changes. The future would be shaped not by the many or the powerful, but by those willing to imagine something better and brave enough to make it real. The dawn of a new era had begun, and it started with a single ship carrying humanity's greatest truth, that the most powerful force in the universe isn't technology or evolution, but the simple choice to reach out and help others grow beyond their limitations. That was why humans sent just one ship, because sometimes one is all you need to change everything.